Hi, my name's Callie Kofoed. I'm a child life specialist here at Primary Children's Hospital in the Intermountain Healthcare system. And many parents right now are juggling working from home and parenting during this pandemic. It is a tricky time for parents all across the nation. And so today I have some tips on how we can make that easier. The first thing is that, first of all, child life specialists, we help familiarize children with the hospital. We help do that through play, through education, and a variety of means to put children at ease. We also help siblings and parents to navigate the hospital as well. It is tricky for everyone. But many of the tips that we use in the hospital can be applied to parents at home. And one of the first things that we talk about all the time is establishing a schedule. Now, a schedule is so important because it gives children a sense of predictability, well-being, and a sense of control over their day. And we all know that we can all use a little more control right now. Parents tend to think, wow, it's overwhelming to ask me to make a schedule right now with everything going on. But I'm here to tell you that if you take the time to make a schedule, it will give you huge payoff. So what are some ways that we can make a schedule? What are some tips? How do we do that? Let's talk about that for a minute. Number one is enlist your child's help in making a schedule. I love when I see schedules written by children in their handwriting, decorated with their artwork, posted at eye level so that they can see that. That is powerful. And a schedule, when you post it, it can act as a visual reference for a child throughout the day to revisit. Now, children often need help with transitions, and they look to parents for cues for that. And so you can either set fun alarms or use music to help transition from one activity to the next. Now, working parents, this can be overwhelming thinking about managing your own schedule and your child's schedule. And so one thing that you can do in your schedule is you can schedule time for play with your child, and we'll talk more about that. But you can schedule time to be with your child, and you can use your work breaks to connect with your child. You can also, per se, kill two birds with one stone. You can work in exercise and help your kids be active. You can tackle a household chore together and spend time together. So there are many ways that you can sync up your schedule and make the most of those work breaks that you have. Sometimes there are just times in your schedule when you cannot be interrupted. You have that important phone call, or you just have this really important meeting with your boss. And during those times, you can signal to your child when to only interrupt you during emergencies. And you can do that by a variety of creative means. Some people like to wear a silly hat. Any way that you can say, hey, this is my time right now. I have an important meeting and I cannot be interrupted unless it's an emergency. Now, we realize that it is hard working from home, and it is hard being a parent at the same time and trying to do these two things together. And so part of this also includes having a realistic picture in your mind of what can be accomplished in a given day. And you may have to adjust those expectations for the time being. This is temporary, and it's great to be able to communicate that to your boss and to your colleagues of what you can and cannot do at this time. Everyone has different needs, different challenges going on at home right now, and that's okay. That's part of life. And so it's important to look at these schedules as loose guidelines to follow rather than these strict, rigid rules that you must follow. It's okay to revisit that schedule throughout the day and to change and revise and to do what works for you and your child. But having a schedule will definitely pay off. It will allow you to make less decisions throughout the day. It'll guide you and help you to have a course of what to expect for you and your children for that day. Now, granted, unexpected things happen. Again, that's okay. A schedule is just a way of having a good plan to start off the day and taking what comes. Now, keep in mind also that children need creative outlets. They need opportunities to play and to work through these big emotions that they're having right now. And so play should always be included in a schedule, in every child's schedule. And we should always limit screen time. Now, there is a time and a place for screens, but a screen can easily take over your day, your child's day, without planned restrictions. And so make sure that you keep that in mind as well. Now, if you're going into an important meeting and you really don't want to be interrupted, you can set yourself up for success by maybe introducing your child to a novel toy or a novel show before you go into the meeting and helping that to keep their attention. And keep in mind that the more that you give them your undivided attention throughout the day in pockets of time, the more that their independent time can stretch out. So those are just a few tips on how to create a schedule. Remember, there's no wrong or right way to do this. You can make what works for your family, but having a schedule is really helpful and important in a child's day.